When I say Musk, what comes to mind? Either a smell or maybe this guy. As we all attempt to understand how the absolute state of this man came to be, we might find some answers within his family, particularly his father, Errol. He's a self-proclaimed genius, a smooth-talking opportunist who may or may not have owned an emerald mine in Zambia, and a total freak who had children with his own stepdaughter. Despite this, he's still somewhat of a mysterious figure in a lot of ways, and his relationship with his son remains strained, or not, depending when you ask and who you ask. The pair are either extremely close or totally hate each other. Behind Errol's charm and various business ventures lies a history full of disturbing relationships, morally compromising decisions, and accusations that paint a picture of a man driven more by self-interest than principle. Remind you of anyone? Errol was born in Pretoria, South Africa in 1946. His British mother was known for her intelligence, and his father was a sergeant in the South African military. By his early 30s, he was already a millionaire, working on large-scale industrial projects and building a reputation as a skilled problem solver. It was during that time that he met model and dietitian May Haldeman, his future ex-wife. May later recounted how Errol relentlessly pursued her, proposing repeatedly until she finally said yes. A persistence eerily reminiscent of Elon's own approach to his earlier relationships, but these days he just knocks them up and fucks off. May and Errol married in the 70s, and in 1971, their first child, Elon Musk, was born, followed by two more children, Kimball and Tosca. In the 1970s and 80s, Errol was busy with business and politics, joining and then leaving the Progressive Federal Party, who were known for advocating power sharing in South Africa through a federal constitution. But wait, what about the Emerald Mine? When was that? Ah yes, the infamous Emerald Mine story, a tale that just won't die. Did Elon's father really own an emerald mine in Zambia? According to Errol Musk, sometime back in the day, he made a classic rich guy power move and traded his plane for a stake in a rough and ready emerald mine in Zambia. Not like a glittering gem empire, mind you. More like a dusty setup where locals would show up with emeralds and walk away with just enough cash to feed their families for a month. The whole thing, Errol says, was based on a handshake deal with some Italian guy running the local airstrip. His vibe on this is like, I'm not a regular white precious gem mine owner. I'm a chill precious gem mine owner. Errol claims he made so much cash from the mine that his safe literally wouldn't shut. He's also said that some of that gemstone money helped bankroll Elon's big move from South Africa to North America, covering his education and living costs along the way. But Elon, not having it. He consistently calls the emerald mine tale false and annoying, insisting he made his own way with about $2,000 in his pocket and 6 figures of student debt. Elon has painted the whole thing as a persistent myth meant to downplay his hard work. To make things extra confusing, there was an old interview where Elon apparently mentioned the mine and said he tried to visit it at 15, but the trip fell apart thanks to some rookie move involving an expired passport that belonged to his brother or something like that. But Errol doubles down. He produced photos of emeralds he say came from the mine, and he insisted that Elon knows all about it. According to Errol, Elon just doesn't want to be seen as a trust fund kid. Critics point out that if the mine stuff is true, it smells a little bit like old school colonial plundering, a la Cecil Rhodes, you know. But Errol's response, well, he said, half of my colleagues were killed. All of my colleagues got malaria, yellow fever, black water fever, and more. One was eaten by a crocodile. Are the silly little Western wimps of today able to understand all this? I doubt it. To date, no actual mine has been found, no paperwork has surfaced up, and not a single one of Elon's companies will touch the story with a 10-foot pole. So I don't know, who knows? Who's covering up what, or not covering anything at all? I don't know. But possible emeralds and apartheid stuff aside, it's Errol's relationships that are the most weird and oh my god, this guy is so cooked. Oh. Errol and May divorced in 1979 when Errol cheated on her. Yeah, This guy cheated on his supermodel wife of 9 years. I wish I was surprised, but I'm not. He once told Business Insider South Africa, "I screwed up the marriage. I was totally responsible. It didn't work out too well in the end. My former wife doesn't speak to me. Even when we're together, she won't speak to me. So we haven't spoken to one another for 37 years. She won't speak to me or engage me if we're in the same room," which we have been often. In her memoir titled A Woman Makes a Plan, May alleged instances of verbal and physical abuse. Describing Errol as controlling and cruel, she recounted a life of fear and humiliation, recalling one moment in particular where a 5-year-old Elon attempted to stop his father from beating his mother. In 2019, she said, "Everybody I knew called him the pig because he treated me so badly in public." Errol refutes these claims, maintaining that he always treated May with respect and care, even going as far as to say this.
She made all that up.
You think so?
Yeah, she made all that up.
I'm not even gonna comment. Errol also reckons he's important enough that her claims are an attempt to turn the public against him. Yeah, you're doing that just fine on your own actually, mate. Following the divorce, Elon chose to live with his father, a decision he would later deeply regret. Errol went on to be briefly married to a woman named Sue, and in the early 1990s, when he was aged 45, he married Heidi Benoisenhout, a 25-year-old he described as one of the best-looking women I've ever seen in my life. Heidi already had children from a previous relationship, including a daughter named Jana, who became Errol's stepdaughter at the age of 4. Go and get a sick bag. So in 2017, this fucking freak made global headlines for his relationship with his own stepdaughter who had his child. Errol recounts how Jana, at 29, reached out to him during a period of severe financial and personal hardship for help. He graciously provided financial support, like you would expect from your rich father who raised you since the age of 4. Years later, Errol described the relationship as a moment of passion and confessed they had a child together. In a sensational interview with Mail Online, Errol said he could barely remember Jana's mother Heidi, despite the fact that the couple were married for years and they have 2 children together. In regards to the existence of the child, he also said, "I told my daughter Ali about him because I thought she would be supportive and understanding. She said I was insane, mentally ill. She told the others and they went berserk. They think I'm getting senile and should go into an old age home, not have a life full of fun and a tiny baby."
Bruh.
First of all, ooh. Second of all, why would you be surprised that everyone else in your family, especially your other daughter, aren't being supportive? Fucking freak! It's even more fucked up than you think. Errol Musk and his second wife, Heidi, went on to have 2 daughters together, Alexandra and Asher. Elon and his brother Kimball eventually moved in with Errol and Heidi, where the family made an effort to treat all of the children equally, regardless of whether they were biological or stepchildren. So for Elon, the vibe is very much your dad got your sister pregnant. And in a twist that seems to somehow only be surprising to Errol himself, it tore his family apart and caused a massive rift between himself and Elon. And if that wasn't enough, he went on to have a second child with his stepdaughter. And his reasoning for it will make your skin crawl. In an interview with The Sun, he said, "The only thing we are on Earth for is to reproduce." Elon reportedly went berserk when he learned that his stepsister was having his father's child, cause it's fucking gross and weird. I would go berserk too. Elon has also described his childhood as painful and isolated, and he said his father was largely absent and talked down to him a lot. He told Rolling Stone through tears, "He was such a terrible human being, you have no idea. My dad will have a carefully thought out plan of evil. He will plan evil. Almost every crime you can possibly think of, he has done. Almost every evil thing you could possibly think of, he has done. It's so terrible, you can't believe it." In 2018, it was reported that the two hadn't spoken in over 18 months, but Errol, being an ignorant freak, still didn't seem to understand why anyone would have any sort of problem with him. He said, "I don't know what Elon's anger is caused by. It has been ongoing since we left the USA against his will in 2003. I drove them to school in a convertible Rolls Royce. They had thoroughbred horses to ride and motorbikes at the age of 14. They were spoiled, I suppose. Maybe that's why Elon is acting like a spoiled child now. That comment about 2003 refers to when Elon moved his family to Malibu after he got rich, and Errol and his wife just gapped it in the night at some point, apparently. But more recently, Errol has tried to make it clear that him and Elon are totally fine, even though he made comments about Elon being a bad father, something this fucking freak would know a lot about. But despite that, he says that him and Elon, they've actually always been on good terms. Okay, I don't think that, but okay. Errol Musk's politics are fucked. I feel like I might not even need to say that. But he isn't your typical Trump supporter. On a podcast, he veered into conspiracy territory, claiming, without irony, that Michelle Obama is transgender and suggested that Joan Rivers was killed for joking about it. He also echoed debunked claims about the 2020 election, alleging that 15 million votes were missing. He speculated that Elon's political shift from supporting Hillary Clinton in 2016 to backing Trump's 2024 campaign with over $250 million was fueled by a post-election snub. According to Errol, Elon was outraged when Biden hosted an EV summit and didn't invite Tesla. Despite the wild claims, Errol says he and Elon remain in contact and added, not so subtly, that his son recently gifted him a Bentley. So what did we learn? It's clear this guy is honestly awful. He's awful. I wanted to say something more intellectual here, but he actually makes me feel like really uncomfortable and uneasy. So does Errol Musk explain Elon Musk? Not entirely, but when you peel back the layers, childhood chaos, disturbing relationships, unchecked egos, casual cruelty, you start to see the blueprint. A man obsessed with control, legacy, and being the smartest guy in the room no matter what the cost. Errol isn't just a footnote in Elon's origin story. He's a mirror, cracked, warped, and uncomfortable to look into. And maybe that is the most revealing part of all. Because if you really want to understand Elon Musk, you might need to start with the man he never wants to become, but maybe already has. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe. We do 5 videos a week on everything happening all around the world, in the news, and on the internet. See you tomorrow.